Hi students, I am your professor Zubair Jahangir wishing you all the very best for your examination. You worked so hard, made so many sacrifices, now it's time to get rewarded and it's showdown time. Even if you've not studied these 3 hours and just the time before your examination can be a game changer if you use it wisely. Now I'm going to give you some very important tips that you need to know for your exam. One of the primary reasons that students don't complete their papers is because of lack or improper time management. So if you do the maths, you'll come to know that you have 3 hours and you have 100 marks. So you get five for you get 7 minutes to complete a 5 mark answer. So you have to ensure that if the question is for 5 marks, in 6 minutes you should start wrapping up the answer, and by 7 minutes you should stop and go to the next question. Very important, because if you don't, you will start, you get closer to not being able to complete the paper. Second, very important, the questions that you studied and it's exactly it has come, you write to the point answers perfectly fine. For the questions that you don't know, okay, is where you need to adopt some strategy. You cannot leave an answer blank, because it's common sense that a blank answer is 0 marks, but a logically attempted answer could fetch you some marks, and even 1 marks makes a very big difference. So I'm going to teach you a technique on which you can attempt even a question that you don't know. So obviously the question that you know, you will write it to the point, done. For the questions that you don't know, you might know that from which chapter it is there. You can write the object of the act, try to find some link with respect to the answer. So there is a technique which is called as the goat and the tree answer. If the question is about the tree and I don't have a knowledge about the tree, so then I take a goat, tie to the tree, and then start talking about the goat. So what does it mean? That you have a related topic connected to the question and start connecting and writing at least about it. So what happens is at least you get a logically connected answer on which you can write. And just for your examination, you need to have something, that a question that come which I don't know, I should be able to have. I should be able to write this case law, this section, or at least something which can impress the examiner to give you at least 1 mark. Now the next and most important thing that you should know, that when a situational questions are asked, and professional exams, mostly the questions, at least 40 to 50% are situational. Situational questions have a very good method of writing, and I'm going to give you the format. First, you write the facts of the case. When you're writing the facts of the case, you're thinking and you reread the answer question. Then you write the issue involved. The issue involved comes from the facts of the what question has been asked. Then you write the provision of. Very important to know your sections, okay, and know it well and good. But if you don't know it, don't quote it, because not writing the correct section can backfire. Better to be safe and write as per the relevant provisions of XYZ Act and the said rule. Next, once you know the provision of the law, then you can give the conclusion. A situational question has to be presented in this format to get the maximum marks. Facts of the case, issue involved, provision of law, conclusion. Okay, I use this same format. I had got an exemption, multiple exemptions. I cleared it in one go, and I tell it to the students, and students, when they adopt this, they see that they get higher marks. Now, very important tip is, just before the exams, you will notice that you get approximately 12 hours. You do the calculation that I come home, by the next paper I get approximate 12 hours. So how do I manage that time before the right before the paper? So this 12 hours you need to bifurcate in the very beginning. That imagine if the question, if your syllabus is divided in part A, part B. So you will say part A I should finish in 3 hours, part B I should complete in this much time, and you should leave. So your 12 hours has to be bifurcated. Out of 12 hours, I will say 6 hours I'm doing this, 4 hours I'm doing this. But always remember that at least 2 to 3 hours you have to leave it for full portion revision again. Okay, so again, if I repeat, you break it down your 12 hours, that I will be doing 2 hours this part, 5 hours this part, this other part this much. Divide your time slot, and that time slot you have to complete that chapter or those topics. And before the examination, 3 hours, in my opinion, you should leave 3 hours only for re-revision, for revision again, all over again. Okay, so this is how you plan it, and target your high weighted chapters, high value chapters, higher important chapters initially. Now, very important is the mindset that you have to tell yourself that the paper will be easy, the correction will be easier, and I'm going to clear with exam. I told this uh, to myself when I went every single time for every single paper. Throughout, I used to keep chanting that the paper is going to be super easy. I've studied everything. I'm going to clear, and the correction will be easier. It's going to be really simple. So what happens is you don't get stress. Stress only comes if you feel that something negative can happen. But if I prepare my mind and I tell my mind that only positive is going to happen, that will give me confidence, which will unlock my potential, true potential. Fear only kills potential. Okay. Then remember that professional level exam, in your entire one group, at least one paper will be extremely difficult. Some people will come out crying because it's a professional paper. Okay. In easy papers, everyone writes, everyone comes out happy, including you. In tough papers, you have to know that in tough papers you can get a competitive edge, that if it's a tough paper, it's tough for everyone. So you will see in the exam hall, everyone's looking left, right, some are crying, some are leaving early. Don't get distracted. Use this to your advantage, that if it's tough for me, it's tough for everyone. And in that paper, just by being confident, you get a edge, you get a advantage already. To be confident, and the paper can never, it's my experience over by teaching 12 years, the full paper can never be difficult. Maximum 20 marks will be difficult, 25 marks will be difficult. Rest everything is from the module and from what the past exam question, everything from there. So your job is to clear from the 80 marks, clear from the 75 marks, which is also simple. And in the balance 25 marks, you attempt at least that you can get out of 25, at least 10 marks. So it's still safe and good. And those who panic will lose. So your job is to stay calm and confident. Very, very important to be eligible to give the exams. You need to take your documentation, ID card, your admit card given by ICSI, your identity card given by ICSI, your Aadhaar card can be taken. Okay, and remember, very, very important, only you can write your answer sheet with blue pen. Black pen is not allowed. If you want, you can speak to the examiner also, just whether you can use it, but blue pen is the pen with which you should be writing. So wish you all the very best again. What matters is in the 3 hours how you act. If you can continuously, moment you get the paper, you read your entire question paper nicely, use the 15 minutes wisely, then what you do is decide that this question I don't know, so I might just try to you skip this question. I will go a bit faster on this. The rest questions I can allot my time to get more marks. The strategic planning can be done of the 15 minutes, but once you get to write, just keep writing continuously till they come and snatch your paper. So this was my technique. I used to write, fill everything, all my knowledge, whatever I've learned, whatever amendment I knew, or section I knew, all I dumped it into the exam paper. I made the markings, etc. So the examiner should know that I have put in so much hard work to clear these exams. So you show this examiner that yes, I am already a professional. See my paper, and I guarantee you, you will clear with an exam. So wish you all the very best. Write exemption in the chat box, because that's telling the mind, the world, and your entire lady luck that this is what I want. Take care, guys. Wish you all the very best. Our prayers are always with you.